When we find Pepper in Iron Man 3, I think she and Tony are very much in a relationship. They're living together. She's moved into his house in Malibu, and she's still running Stark Industries. So their lives are very intertwined, and there's a lot of comfort between them now. So it's not the kind of tentative relationship they had in the first one. It's like very, very comfortable. I think you get the sense that they know each other very well, and they are in a serious relationship. It's very nice to have the relationship evolve over the course of a few pictures, and especially now. Robert and I have always had a really great working relationship, and we're very happy working together. And it's nice to phase it into something else. It's still all of like the banter, but it's less, tenuous. Like they're really doing something together. Robert was really interested in having Pepper do more in this movie, and it was also a factor in me coming back, getting to do things that were a little bit more fun and different and a little bit more adventurous. It would have still been nice, but it would have been very much the same thing, just to kind of, be buttoned up Pepper. And this movie, there's a whole different experience of her. I'm a person who works out anyway, but I felt like for this movie I needed to be like in excellent shape. So a couple weeks before I came back, then I really like hit it super hard, and I tried to watch what I eat, which I'm not so good at doing, but but I was very focused because I really wanted the whole end sequence to be, unexpected. And I thought if people saw me like that and, fighting and in really good shape, that it would be an extra bonus for the movie, to have, because it sort of looks more comic booky. I think the reason why Tony Stark is such a popular cinematic hero is because of his vulnerability. I think in the second movie he was at his least vulnerable. I think in the first movie he goes into his vulnerability and he finds it. And he sort of finds his humanity. In this movie, you really see his cracks. You really see kind of the psychology behind why he is going through in a way, metamorphosis he needs to go through, because we understand why he has problems and that his, childhood was the way it was, and he went through a dark period in his life. But I think in this movie, he's really trying to reconcile what's what and who he wants to be and kind of the direction that he wants to go in. Robert he plays that kind of thing so beautifully. He's an actor who can play so many notes at once. And so it's wonderful to see. John is so valuable to this franchise, and, he cast basically... he cast Iron Man, and with Iron Man and Iron Man 2, he cast a lot of the Avengers. And so, he's a very integral part of Marvel's success. And so it's cool that he came back to reprise his role of Happy Hogan and, to be in the film. And it was really great to have. I can't imagine being on an Iron Man set without him. I think the reason that Iron Man is so successful is because... it's that classic archetypal figure of like somebody with incredible light and darkness, and that's a story of all of us, and we're always trying to reconcile both sides of ourselves and all parts of ourselves, and there's something emblematic about Iron Man kind of encompassing all of those qualities, and it's what we strive to do, accept our dark and make our light brighter. And I think Robert is incredibly charismatic and funny, and I think the Pepper-Tony relationship is always at the heart of the movies, and I think people love to see that relationship. It's like so many people said about the Avengers, like, I'm so happy Pepper was in the Avengers because it gave the movie like a center, even though it was one scene. I think Pepper's relationship to him is something that keeps the movie grounded. It's always in reality, and it's always funny and full of love, but always witty. And I think it's a real relationship. I think the idea is that Pepper and Killian knew each other previously. She mentions that she worked for him a long time ago and that he had asked her out and she wasn't interested. So he's always carried a little bit of a flame, and it turns out to be a very complex layer of the plot, you know, this sort of unrequited thing that he had for Pepper.